Loki dropped on Disney Plus today, this Wednesday, which is very going to be very hard for me to remember because everything on Disney Plus since launch, which Disney Plus has almost been around for 2 years, for the most part, has dropped on a Wednesday. New episodes to every show, not a Wednesday, a Friday. This is the first show dropping on a different day, which I'm not against that. It's just hard to remember because you've been doing the Friday thing for so long. But they have too many shows now premiering, and so Loki just needed to come to Wednesday. So yeah, there's gonna be spoilers for this, of course. If you want to hear my thoughts on all the previous MCU movies and WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier and all that stuff, that's all available right now on this channel. You can go watch my reviews for all that stuff. Um, and I will be talking about Loki every Wednesday. Um, yeah, this show, I'm very conflicted about it because to me, this is lazy, right? Loki died. And, you know, WandaVision was a little bit different because Vision died and they brought back a different character who was a character in the comics. There was a reason that all that happened. So that was a little bit different, right? But Loki is a different case because Loki is this character who has had several fake out deaths throughout the movies. And it's like they just keep bringing him back. And I get it. Fan favorite. People love Loki. But the problem is you can't keep doing this. You can't keep showing there's no consequences to anything. Because then I don't want to be invested anymore. Because who's to say Gamora can't come back, right? All these other characters that died cannot come back. It's bullcrap, it's lazy, and you shouldn't do it. And this show does give an interesting reason for Loki to come back, but it's also like he shouldn't have come back. This pilot was kind of exactly what I expected. You know, we start after the events of Endgame. You know, Loki went through the time stream, which I know people think like Endgame, so the length is perfect. It needs to be that long. It doesn't. Like that part of the movie did not need to be in this. Did not need to be in the movie, but it was only to set up the show, and it was just very obvious. Hey, we're setting up this show kind of thing, and there should have been a better way to do that, and you shouldn't have done it in the movie that was meant to wrap up all these characters. They did so much wrong with Endgame, if you ask me. But that is like a thing that really bothered me. But we got here, and Loki gets caught by this time force, and they basically go over the rules. This episode is basically a setup episode while Owen Wilson's character is trying to deep dive into Loki and understand what makes him tick. And then at the end of the episode, we get a little cliffhanger about how the threat that they're trying to stop and they need Loki for is Loki, and we don't really know what that means. But like, yeah. Now now the way this episode's framed, it could mean that Loki dies at the end of this show. So if he dies at the end of the show, cool. But I don't know. To me, that would also feel cheap. And this is the problem with bringing back characters like this. If he dies at the end of the show, right, then who's to say they're not going to bring him back again? Because they keep doing it, you know? I mean, this is like the fourth time they've done it, I think. Maybe fifth. And I think it's four. But it's like, you can't keep killing this character and be like, here he's back. Fan favorite characters, cool. But it's time to make new characters. And introduce new characters. Which, granted, they are getting ready to do. But it seems messed up to me that we are starting with characters who died. With all these MCU shows, for the most part. Um, so far, like Vision, Loki, it feels like a little weird. I was okay with WandaVision because there wasn't a legit explanation, and there may be with this show. But for right now, I'm kind of not that interested in the show for that reason. I mean, I'll still watch it and review it because I do want to see where the show goes. This episode made me engaged and at least interested. It could be a cool show, but without a proper ending to Loki, and like way to say, all right, we're not killing off, we're keeping him, or we're killing him off for good this time, then I cannot get invested in this show or any other thing featuring Loki because he should be dead. He died, he had a great moment, and I get it. This is not the same Loki, right? But it's still the same character that they keep bringing back. It's just getting old. You know, I'm just saying. I don't know. Interesting, interesting show. I really like Owen Wilson in the show. It's a very different role for him. Owen Wilson, I've always liked Owen Wilson in like a lot of movies. He's in my favorite movie of all time, Fantastic Mr. Fox, and he's in a really funny part of that movie. He's in a lot of movies that I love, but this is a very different role for him. I think I really like this character he's playing, but we'll see how this show goes. For right now, I guess you would say I'm cautiously optimistic, though I think it's leaning a little bit more negative than even that. But yeah, I guess I'm cautiously optimistic. We will see. You know, I think there's a reason I don't get in the MCU. It's just because the MCU is not that great of a universe when you break it down, because of the fact that they've had to make it movies and bullcrap a lot of events and things like that, and not make it all work. And people act like it's completely perfect and flawless when it isn't. So, yeah, I don't know. But we will see.